Okay, good morning, students. Okay, today, just I want to explain once again haloalkanes and halogens. Important questions. One more questions. Okay, just we'll see. Okay, maximum one more questions in 30 minutes. Okay. And here, what is the meaning of primary alkyl halide? Primary alkyl halide, secondary alkyl halide, tertiary alkyl halide. Okay, here primary alkyl halide means, okay, in alkanes carbon attached to the alkanes halogen attached to the primary carbon, that we call as primary alkyl halide. Okay, here halogen attached to primary carbon, so we called primary alkyl halide. Example for this, okay, ethyl chloride or chloroethane. Here this is attached to the primary carbon, so we call as primary alkyl halide. Secondary alkyl halide means, okay, it is attached to halogen atom attached to the secondary carbon. Here halogen, it is attached to the secondary carbon. Okay, the example for this 2-chloropropane. Okay, here isopropyl chloride. This is the example for secondary alkyl halide. This is the example for primary alkyl halide. Next, in continuation, we will see the tertiary alkyl halide. That means halogen atom attached to the tertiary carbon. In this halogen atom attached to the tertiary carbon atom. This is tertiary carbon atom. The common name of this one, IUPAC name, common name of this one is tertiary butyl chloride. Tertiary butyl chloride. Okay, here is also called chloro. Which chloro? Okay, 2-chloro, 2-methyl propane. 2-chloro, 2-methyl propane. IUPAC name of this molecule is 2-chloro, 2-methyl propane. Okay, this is the one question. Primary, secondary, tertiary alkyl halides. Okay, then we'll see the benzyl halides. Benzyl halides. What are the benzyl halides? Primary, secondary, tertiary benzyl halides. Benzyl means, okay, this is the benzyl chloride. Over here, chlorine attached to the primary carbon, so it is a primary benzyl halide. Primary benzyl chloride. Okay, if over here this carbon attached to the halogen attached to here secondary carbon, so this we called secondary benzyl chloride. Okay, if chlorine attached to the tertiary carbon, so here tertiary carbon, this is tertiary, this is secondary, so this is called tertiary benzyl chloride. They may ask one question, give the example for primary or secondary tertiary benzyl chloride, alkyl chloride, like that. Okay, next we will see the allyl halides. Allyl halides means, okay, allyl group means one propenyl group we called as allyl. This we called as allyl. Here chlorine attached, and this chlorine attached to the primary carbon. This is primary. It is attached to only directly attached to one carbon, so primary. This is called, okay, one propenyl chloride. One propenyl chloride is the primary allyl halide. Primary allyl halide. Okay, secondary allyl halide means CH2 double bond CH. CCH3 HCl. This is the secondary carbon now. So we call it secondary allyl halide. Secondary allyl halide. Then tertiary allyl halide means CH2 double bond CH, CCH3 CH3 Cl. This is tertiary allyl halide. Tertiary allyl halide. Primary, secondary, tertiary benzyl allyl. Okay, benzyl allyl, and here benzyl allyl and what alkyl halides. Okay, here in haloalkanes and haloanes, we'll see some of the important named reactions. First named reaction is Gross reaction. Okay, Gross reaction used for preparation of alkyl chlorides. Used for the preparation of alkyl chlorides. Here reagent is Lucas reagent. Here we are using Lucas reagent. Zinc and hydrochloric acid or anhydrous zinc chloride. Anhydrous zinc chloride along with the hydrochloric acid. Okay, this is a Lucas reagent. Okay, here I am taking alcohol reacts with hydrochloric acid. In the presence of zinc chloride, what happens? It loses water molecule and forms RCl, alkyl halide. Suppose for example, here I am taking methyl alcohol reacts with hydrochloric acid. In presence of anhydrous zinc chloride, it loses water molecule and forms alkyl chlorides. This is the Gross reaction used for the preparation of alkyl chlorides. Then Schwarz reaction. Schwarz reaction. Schwarz reaction means it is used for the preparation of alkyl fluorides. Used for the preparation of alkyl fluoride. The reagents are here AgF, Hg2F2, COF3 cobalt trifluoride, SbF3 antimony trifluoride or antimony pentafluoride. Those are the reagents. Okay, here I am taking alkyl bromides. Alkyl bromides reacts with AgF or any. What happened here? It uses AgBr and forms alkyl fluorides. Alkyl fluoride. Suppose for example here I am taking methyl bromide reacts with AgF or any Hg2F2, COF3, SbF3. What happens? It releases AgBr and forms methyl fluoride. This we call as Schwarz reaction. Then in continuation we will see the Finkelstein reaction. Finkelstein reaction. What is the Finkelstein? It is used for the preparation of alkyl iodides. Alkyl iodides. Okay, here reagent is sodium iodide and dry acetone. Sodium iodide and dry acetone. Here I am taking alkyl chloride. Here X is equal to chlorine or bromine. Alkyl chloride reacts with sodium iodide in the presence of dry acetone. In the presence of dry acetone, what happens? It loses NaX and forms alkyl iodides. Alkyl iodides. This we called as Finkelstein reaction. That we simply called as Finkelstein reaction. Okay, in continuation we'll see the one more important reaction, Unsederker reaction. It is used for the preparation of the alkyl bromides. Alkyl bromides. Here bromine. Bromine and carbon tetrachloride are the reagents. Here take silver carboxylate. This we called silver carboxylate. Silver carboxylate. When silver carboxylate reacts with bromine in presence of carbon tetrachloride, just heat. Bromine and silver loses in the form of AgBr. Carbon dioxide also liberates. Along with the alkyl bromides are formed. Suppose for example here I am taking CH3COOAg, silver acetate. This we call silver acetate. It is reacts with bromine in presence of carbon tetrachloride. Just heat. AgBr was formed. Along with CO2 liberates, and here CH3Br was formed. What is the difference between this Unsederker reaction and remaining reactions? Three reactions: Gross reaction and Finkelstein reaction and Schwarz reaction. All are reactants and reagents are having both carbon atoms, but in Hunsaker reaction, okay, here reactants and reagents, okay, here reactant and here product, it has one less number carbon. By it liberates the carbon dioxide molecule. It liberates the carbon dioxide molecule. And here in continuation we see the Sandmeyer reaction. Sandmeyer reaction. Sandmeyer reaction is used for the preparation of the chlorobenzene, bromobenzene, iodobenzene. Okay, we'll see. Direct I am taking benzene diazonium chloride into Cl. This is called benzene diazonium chloride. Diazonium chloride. Benzene diazonium chloride. It is prepared from aniline. When benzene diazonium chloride, okay, reacts with Cu2Cl2. Okay, Cu2Cl2 in presence of HCl. Cu2Cl2 in presence of HBr. Okay, here it reacts with potassium iodide. Potassium iodide in the presence of HI or acetone or any reagent. What happens? Nucleophilic substitution reaction takes place and forms here chlorobenzene. Here forms bromobenzene and here forms iodobenzene. This is we called as Sandmeyer reaction. And here, okay, preparation of chlorobenzene, Schiemann reaction. Schiemann reaction is used for the preparation of the fluorobenzene. What is that? Take benzene diazonium chloride, reacts with HBF4, hydroborotetrafluoric acid. Just heat. Here we'll get fluorobenzene. Okay, N2 was released along with the different molecules released. Okay, this is fluorobenzene. Preparation of fluorobenzene. In continuation, we'll see some more chemical reactions. Next, in continuation, we'll see the Wurtz reaction. Okay, what is the Wurtz reaction? Already we know it is used for the preparation of alkanes. Okay, here metal is sodium metal and solvent is dry ether. You should write these two compulsory. Dry ether is compulsory. Okay, here I am taking alkyl halide. RX means alkyl halide. It is reacts with 2 moles of sodium. Okay, in presence of dry ether, it uses sodium halide, 2 moles of sodium halide like this, and forms R-R. We called alkane. Okay, this is general Wurtz reaction. I am writing common specific. Methyl chloride reacts with 2 moles of sodium in presence of dry ether. What happens here? It uses 2 moles of sodium chloride and forms CH3. This is ethane. Okay, by using this method, we can't prepare the methane. This is the Wurtz reaction. And then in continuation, we'll see the Fittig reaction. Fittig reaction also same. Sodium metal here we are using. Instead of alkyl halide, here we are using aryl halide. You take aryl halide. Okay, this is the phenyl halide or chlorobenzene. Okay, here chlorobenzene reacts with 2 moles of sodium in presence of dry ether. It loses sodium chloride molecules, 2 moles of sodium chloride molecules, and forms biphenyl. It's called biphenyl. This is called Fittig reaction. Okay, Fittig reaction. Then in continuation, we'll see the Wurtz-Fittig reaction. Wurtz-Fittig reaction. What is the Wurtz-Fittig reaction? Okay, what is the Wurtz-Fittig reaction? Wurtz-Fittig reaction means, okay, in Wurtz we use alkyl halide, in Fittig we use aryl halide. Here I am taking aryl halide and alkyl halide. Sorry. Aryl halide and alkyl halide. Clues what? Sodium chloride molecule in presence of dry ether and forms toluene. This we call methyl benzene. This is also called toluene. Okay, this is the Wurtz-Fittig reaction. Okay, in continuation we'll see the extension of Wurtz reaction. Okay, Franklin reaction and Ullmann reaction. Okay, in continuation I will do Franklin reaction. In Franklin reaction we are using zinc and dry ether as usual. Dry ether and zinc as usual. Here I am taking 2 moles of alkyl halide. Okay, here it uses zinc halide like this and forms alkane in presence of dry ether. Same, you take here ethyl chloride, reacts with zinc in presence of dry ether, uses zinc chloride and forms C4H10. What is this one? Butane. C4H10 is the butane. Okay, in continuation we'll see the one more Ullmann reaction. In Ullmann reaction, the copper is the metal, dry ether is carbon. This is also used for the preparation of alkanes. This is also used for the preparation of alkane. Alkyl halide, take copper metal. Okay, here also take methyl chloride, reacts with 2 moles of copper method. Here also I am taking CH3, Cl. CH3Cl. Okay, here what happened? In presence of dry ether say, here we will get alkane and here 2CuX, cuprous halide form. Here CH3, here also cuprous chloride was formed. Cuprous chloride was formed. This is about the Franklin reaction and Ullmann reaction. Okay, in continuation we will see some more reactions. Okay, in continuation we will see some important terms: optical activity, plane polarizing light, dextro and levo isomers, along with that chiral carbon, racemic mixture, okay, inversion product, retention product. Okay, here racemization, resolution. These are the important terms. Okay, optical activity, plane polar light, dextro and levo isomers, and here carbon, chiral carbon, racemic mixture. Okay, inversion product, retention product, racemization, resolution, polarimeter. This is also one important term. Okay, retention also here I am writing. Retention product. Okay, what is the optical activity? Okay, the organic molecules which shows, okay, which rotates plane polarized light, okay, towards the right side or towards the left side in polarimeter experiment, those molecules we called as optical isomers, and the phenomenon we called as optical activity. Okay, example for optical isomers. Okay, so many examples are there. DEL, lactic acid. Okay, DEL, tartaric acid. Okay, these are the examples for optical isomers. Okay, these exhibit the optical activity na. So these exhibit optical isomerism. That phenomenon we called as optical activity. Plane polarized light we called PPL. What is the meaning of plane polarized light? Okay, if any light contains, okay, if any light passes, okay, if any light passes, moves, okay, moves with the same direction, with one direction. If any light moves with the light rays moves one direction, that we call as plane polar light. How will get the plane polar light? Okay, when we pass the normal light through a nickel prism, this we call a nickel prism. When we pass the normal light through a nickel prism, we'll get here plane polar light. Okay, the light which moves in one direction, we call as plane polarized light. Okay, then in continuation, dextro it indicated with D plus, okay, levo indicated with L or minus. Dextro means the optical isomer which rotates plane polarized light towards the right side, okay, towards the right side or clockwise direction, we call as dextro. Okay, the optical isomer which rotates plane polarized light towards left side or anti-clockwise direction, okay, anti-clockwise direction, we call as levo isomer. Levo indicate with L, small l or minus, dextro indicate with small d, okay, or plus. And here, what is the chiral carbon? The carbon which is attached to the four different groups. Okay, four different groups means one side hydrogen, here deuterium, here tritium, here OH is there. This carbon attached to the four different, D means deuterium, H means tritium, H means hydrogen, okay, T means tritium, OH means hydroxyl group. The carbon which is attached to the four carbon atom, that we call as four different groups. The carbon which is attached to the four different groups, we call as chiral carbon. That we call as chiral carbon. So many examples are there. Only chiral carbon containing organic molecule exhibit the optical activity. Next, racemic mixture. What is the meaning of racemic mixture? An equimolar ratio of 1:1 ratio of, okay, here dextro and levo isomers is called racemic mixture. Okay, 1:1 ratio and equimolar ratio of dextro and levo isomer mixture we called as, okay, racemic mixture. Racemic mixture indicated with this symbol plus minus within the bracket. Okay, example for racemic mixture. So many examples are there. Here I am taking one example. Okay, lactic acid, OH, H, CH3. This is D-lactic acid. D means capital D na, OH group presented right side here. Second carbon from the bottom, second carbon has OH group presented right side, we call it D. Okay, and racemic mixture indicated with like this. This is the mirror. That means these are the mirror images. Okay, here OH, COOH and H, CH3. This is L-lactic acid. This is the example for racemic mixture. Okay, in continuation we'll see the one more part, enantiomers and diastereomers. Just definition we'll see. Okay. In continuation, we'll see some more. Next, in continuation, inversion product. Inversion product means, suppose for example, here I am taking one reaction R1, R2, R3. Okay, here I am taking alkyl halide. Okay, if I add KOH, okay, it loses KCl molecule. That means chlorine moves from the right side. Okay, then here we get if you get OH group at left side, This product we called as inversion product. This can be explained here. R2 is equal to D, R3 is equal to T. T means tritium, D means deuterium. And here this we introduced by, this explained by Walden scientist. So we called Walden inversion product. The product which is produced with the opposite configuration to the reactants. Opposite configuration to the reactants we called as here inversion product. Inversion product. Opposite. Inversion means opposite product. Then retention product is there. Retention product means same reaction. I am explaining R1, R2, R3. Here Cl with aqueous chloride, not alcoholic, aqueous chloride. It loses KCl and forms R1. Here R2, R1, R3. Here H. This is called retention product. What is the retention product? The configuration of product and configuration of reactant both will be same. In this, here living group. This we called living group. Chlorine called living group. Living group and attacking group attacks from same side. Living group released from right side. Attacking group also attacked from right side. That we called retention product. This we called retention product. And retention also over. Racemization. Racemization means the preparation of racemic mixture. The preparation of racemic mixture we called as racemization. Suppose for example plus lactic acid is there. Here you take 1 gram plus lactic acid. 1 gram minus lactic acid. Mix. This called mechanical method. What happens? We'll get plus minus lactic acid. This is the preparation of lactic acid from the individual isomer. From the individual compound, from the reactants we called as racemization. The conversion of normal isomer into racemic mixture called as racemization. Here LEA means what? Lactic acid. Plus lactic acid is mixed with minus lactic acid and form the racemic mixture. Lactic acid racemic mixture. Resolution. Resolution means separation of racemic mixture we called as resolution. It is a lactic acid now. It is lactic acid. Separation of racemic mixture. This is the racemic mixture. Separation of racemic mixture means plus lactic acid and minus lactic acid. By using mechanical separation. Mechanical separation. Here we get plus lactic acid and minus lactic acid. The separation of racemic mixture called as resolution. Here polarimeter. What is the use of polarimeter? It is one of the instrument. It is used for the determination of optical activity of an organic molecule. Optical activity of an organic molecule. What is the use of polarimeter? Here what is the use of polarimeter? It is used for the determination of optical activity of an organic molecule. Optical activity of an organic molecule. Then in continuation we will see the enantiomers. What are the enantiomers? Next in continuation we will see the enantiomers. The non-superimposable mirror images called as enantiomers. What are enantiomers? The non-superimposable mirror images we called as enantiomers. Example for enantiomers. Here I am taking lactic acid. Again I am taking lactic acid. OH, COOH, HCH3. This is plus D lactic acid. Mirror. Here OH, COOH, HCH3. This is L minus lactic acid. See here, plus means dextro, D means OH group present at right side. Here L means left side. Negative charge means, okay, here negative means leave isomer. Okay, this individual isomer we called as enantiomer. These two are the non-superimposable mirror images. Non-superimposable mirror images we called as enantiomers. What is the meaning of diastereomers? Diastereomers. Diastereomers. Okay, what are the diastereomers? Non-superimposable, non-mirror images. Okay, non-superimposable, non-mirror images we called as diastereomers. Okay, suppose for example here I am writing one example. This is the tartaric acid. Tartaric acid. Here I am writing 4 tartaric acid with a different configuration. Okay, this is also tartaric acid. This is the first structure. This is the second structure. Here I am writing 2 more. OH. Here OH. H. H. Here OH. Here OH. Sorry. Here OH. H. Here COOH. 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 This is the third. This is the fourth. See. First one and second one, third one and fourth one. Both are mirror images, non-superimposable mirror images. So we called enantiomers. We called enantiomers. What are first one, second one and third one, fourth one? First pair, 1, 2 pair, 3, 4 pair, enantiomers. What about the, okay, here, first one, third one, okay, first one, fourth one, second one, third one, second one, fourth one. These are the non-superimposable, non-mirror images. These are 4 pairs, non-superimposable, non-mirror images. So we called as diastereomers. These we called as diastereomers. These are the examples for diastereomers. This is the one simple video. 30 questions, more than 30 questions in 30 minutes.